Hello, hello! So today I have a book review of The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks, and I've actually had this book, been reading it for a couple months. I had it on my iPhone, so I was just forgetting that I had it, and I wouldn't really read it for a few weeks, and then I was like, oh yeah, I have a book on my phone, I can read it. And I wasn't really into the story the first half, but then the last half I probably read in like a day or two, because that's when I really got into the whole book. So basically this book has like two stories. It's like two for the price of one. There's the story of Ira and Ruth, and Ira is a 91-year-old man, and he's driving his car and he gets driven off the road somehow, and he's basically trapped and he has injuries, he can't really move, and when he's in his car, it's like a ghost kind of his wife named Ruth visits him, and together they kind of relive their life and marriage, and she just kind of sits beside him the whole time and is encouraging him to stay strong and to keep going. And so that's one half of the book, just Ira in his car reliving his life. And then the other half of the story, completely unrelated, is a story of this young college girl named Sophia, and she falls in love with Luke, who is a bull rider. So it's kind of a huge contrast, both of their lives, but together it somehow seems to work. And she's in a sorority and she's studying art, and he's doing bull riding because he needs money, and he's really, really, really good at it. He's had past injuries, which has like created tension between Luke and his mother, because his mother entirely disapproves of Luke bull riding, but Luke feels a need to keep bull riding because he feels like it's the only way he can provide for his mom and for the ranch that they live on. So they have both stories in this book, and I have to say that the Ira and Ruth story is the one that really captured my heart. It's just so endearing to see this marriage and this life that Ira and Ruth shared, and just the love he had for her from like the day he met her until his dying day, and through all of the days of their marriage. It was just so heartwarming to see, and I just loved the time span of being able to read about an entire marriage in this book, while there currently is a story of Sophia falling in love with Luke. I would probably give this book somewhere between 3 and 4 stars, maybe leaning more towards the 4 stars, and I only would dock it in stars really for Sophia and Luke's story, not because it was necessarily bad, but just because it was more cliched and expected. It's more of what you would expect from a Nicholas Sparks book, basically, where the Ira and Ruth thing was just a beautiful twist and a beautiful love story that I just couldn't get enough of. If the book had just been Ira and Ruth, I would gladly have read the book. What I did like about this book, too, was the ending, and in it, the worlds kind of collided. Both stories, like Ira and Ruth and then Sophia and Luke's, it just like collided in this beautiful way, which I kind of was expecting, obviously, and I did call the ending, like the finale, big ba-bang, what happens, it's really awesome. I called it. So I felt pretty proud of myself, because I'm usually not really good at calling ending of books, so I don't know if this means that the book was really predictable or that I've just become a better predictor of books. I don't know. Either way, it was still really exciting to like know what was going to happen, but like be really, really happy for it happening, because it was just a really great ending. So if you are like me and you have this strange desire to read all of Nicholas Sparks' books, then you will definitely want to read The Longest Ride. I mean, for me, I don't necessarily love all of Nicholas Sparks' books. It's actually just a few that I really, really love, but those few that I really, really love, I mean, I just think are so wonderful. So whenever he releases a new book, I just have to read it, because I'm just hoping that I'll get that same, like, instant love connection with the book, and this one kind of did it for me. So that's really all that I have to say about The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks. I hope you're having a great day, and happy reading.